Good morning, everyone. It is 4:43 a.m. on March 19th, and this is Jeff. I am recording this video as I am sitting in front of a medical patient's house, waiting to pick him up in 15 minutes. I will show you that ride in a minute. I often talk about staying ahead of Uber and Lyft, and in my opinion, they are criminal entities, and that is in my opinion only. I believe I have substantial cause to believe this, but I want to take you through the last 24 hours and show you why, if you do gig work, full-time especially, you have to be all in, you have to be committed to what you're doing, and you have to run it like a business. So I am going to start off with the ride that I am showing you right now. I accepted this ride at 5:55 p.m. last evening. I had plans last night to go to Dave & Buster's with my daughter, son-in-law, and 8-year-old grandson. I'm currently visiting my father, who's 11 miles away from Dave & Buster's, so I plan to meet my family there at 7 p.m. As I often do, because of my status with Uber and Lyft, I get 6 destination trips on Lyft and 2 on Uber. And yes, while they really are not worth anything on Uber, the ones on Lyft are pretty precise. So as I often do, I left my location at 5:55 and I put on my destination to Dave & Buster's, and lo and behold, I got a ping right away. So you can see the trip. Pay attention to the upfront pay of 2016 because it's unbelievable. So you can see the estimated time, the mileage, and by the way, those miles are all in miles, including miles to pick up, because this was an on-demand ride. So it is extremely busy here for spring break, St. Patrick's Day week. I mean, this is South Florida. This is prime time. It took me an hour and 14 minutes. I was able to shave off some miles because I used some local streets, because every highway getting to where I was going on every GPS I have was just awful. So the woman started talking to me. I always engage people, and it turns out that she's down here on spring break. She lives in Pennsylvania, and she recently started driving Lyft, so she had a ton of questions. So we're talking, and I'm giving her some pointers, and I'm asking her, what she does and how it is in her market. So at this point, we were stopped at a red light, and I said, I want to show you what I'm making on this ride. And when I showed her the $20.16, she was dumbfounded. And she told me that she paid $52 for this ride. That doesn't sound like 70% to me. But again, I was headed somewhere. I would have taken this ride if it was $10 because I was driving there anyway. And now I just made $20 on my way to go out with my family. So I gave her some pointers. She wanted my business card after she left because she visits here often. And again, I just used Lyft for marketing, and now I have another private client. I also gave her my personal phone number and told her that if she had any questions about rideshare, she can give me a call. Anyway, now let's see the details of the ride. So I highlighted some areas. You could see the time. She did, in fact, pay $52.94. External fees, you could see, is $7.43. Look what the base pay they gave me was, $16.80 to $4.36. Now, again, quick math in your head would tell you $20 out of 53, they took about 60%. That's certainly not a 70-30 split. But it is just eye-popping of, how unbelievably crooked these companies are. So I spent 4 or 5 hours with my family. I went home about 11 p.m. and I had a private ride to Miami Airport. Pick up from Miami Airport at 3 a.m. this morning. So obviously I blacked out some pertinent information. So the person's name is Marco. He's a CEO of a company. So yesterday I took him to United Airlines at Fort Lauderdale Airport. You can see what I charged him. He lives 4.8 miles from the airport. Originally I wasn't picking him up. I asked him, when are you coming back? He said, I'm getting in tonight, but I'm flying into Miami. And I know it's late, and I didn't want to trouble you. I'm like, nonsense. That ride is 30 miles from his home. You can see what I charged him. His flight was delayed, so I picked him up at 3 a.m., and then I dropped him off. Then I was headed to pick up my medical patient, which now is 11 minutes from now. It's 4:49 a.m. So as I often do, after I dropped him off, which was 5 miles from Fort Lauderdale Airport, I turned on my app. I set it only to black with a destination of where I am sitting right now. And immediately I got a ping. And this is where the story starts to get interesting, and it's why I justify stealing customers from Uber and Lyft the right way. I never cancel a ride. I engage people, which in essence is profiling them, and then if I feel like it's somebody I want as a client, I'll give them my business card. And that's how I use Uber and Lyft to market my private ride business. This was the ride I got. This is the earth-shattering part. This is 3:44 a.m. It's a whopping 8 miles, and it's a black. Keep your eye on the upfront pay of $14.82, because what I'm about to show you next is really just shocking. The passenger paid $43.97 for this ride, and I was offered $14.82. And we all question external fees. Well, when you pick up and drop off at an airport, and their destination was Fort Lauderdale Airport, there is a $3 fee for each pickup and drop off. Now, we all have seen external fees before. How in the world are these external fees only $4.04 if $3 of that goes to the airport? So Lyft made $23.57 on this ride after external fees, and I made $14.82. Does that sound like a 70-30 split to you? Now I'm going to repeat what I said before. In my opinion, Lyft and Uber are criminal entities. They don't pay a price for anything they do. They might get fined, but what's $50 million to a $300 billion company when they drag it out over 10 years and a driver gets $22 and the lawyers get the rest? Nothing's going to change until passengers change their behavior. That's the only thing that will get them to change if their ridership goes down, but it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. So you have to put everything into what you do if you choose to do this as a full-time profession to build your business, utilizing them to further your profitability. Now again, I wound up making $14.82 while I was on my way to a medical trip. And here's the medical trip. So this company pays $1 a mile flat rate. So it's a round trip. It's $83.48 at 5 in the morning. There will be no traffic. This person goes into a clinic, gets meds, comes right back into my car, and I take him home. All in, it's probably about an hour and 30 minutes. So if you take into account the airport ride, that was $105, the $14.82, and the $83, I'll be done by about 7:30. So from 3 a.m. to 7:30, which is 4.5 hours, I already brought in $200 in revenue. That's how you win. You have to diversify. I'm going to show you the front page of my app, my phone. I have Instacart, which is that little green icon. That's 1 gig. Crew, on the bottom right, is the trash can company where you take trash cans to and from the curb. That's 2 gigs. Spark Driver, which is right next to it, that's 3 gigs. Skipcart, the little blue S, that's 4 gigs. Lyft Driver, that's 5 gigs. Uber, that's 6 gigs. Plus my private client business. You are in control of your destiny, folks. Nobody else. Please don't ever forget that. It's okay to hate Uber and Lyft, but you don't take it out on your customers. You try to steal them. Now, I don't know what state you're in, but in Florida, you don't need commercial insurance to do private rides. You need a TLC endorsement on your insurance policy, which I have. For those of you worried about losing your property, if you own property, this is a homestead state, which means your primary residence is not attachable. And even if you are worried, you have to take some risk in life if you want reward. If you're a good driver, yes, accidents happen, but that's why we have insurance. So please, you can win doing gig work. And for all of you out there, you know I love your negative comments. And send them. Please send them, because I love them. But for those of you who say, oh, you don't have family time, I just told you I spend 4 to 5 hours with the people who mean the most to me in the world. And since this is the only thing I do, I was able to prepare for this night because yesterday during the day I went back to my dad's and I slept for 5 hours. And after I drop off this medical ride, I'm going home. And if I go back out later and do anything, I'll do it. If I don't, I don't. You still can make profits. You still can win. I'm not saying don't complain about Uber and Lyft, but don't ever do it in the presence of your customers and try to cultivate a business. You have to invest in this. It's not just going to come to you when you turn the app on. Speaking of which, now it's 4:56 in the morning as I'm still recording, and this is where I'm sitting underneath the 30%. Again, it's only 5 in the morning on a Thursday, and There's already some surges going on. Now again, I know you all don't live in this kind of market. Let's see what's going on Uber. Surging in Hollywood, so let's see what they're paying. All right, it'll get big, more. And by the way, this is spring break week here in this county, so this would be even more if it was last week because, there's no teachers on the road, there's no students. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you to Chris and Sergio for giving me this platform. Subscribe to the Rideshare Guy channel. Watch the Show Me the Money Club every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the Rideshare Guy channel on YouTube. You will learn a lot about how to succeed against all odds against these criminal entities that take advantage of us each and every day. Have a great day.